Hello, and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you'd like to be notified as soon as I have new videos up, don't forget to hit the bell and you'll be notified. Let's get started. So I just finished cutting out all the pieces for the hat, the top of the hat, and it's 5 pieces without the cutout and 1 piece with the cutout, which goes in the back. And now you just, I do 2 at a time usually, and you can freehand this, but I want it to be precise, so I'm going to use a ruler and my scoring tool. Move these to the side. Use my scoring tool that comes, well, not comes with it, you can buy it separately for the Cricut. And I'm just going to line these up together and score them at the same time. And all I do is, you're going to be scoring along this line if you didn't set it up in the Cricut to do it, or buy an SVG that already had it on it set up. So you're just going to score down, and you can, it curves slightly, so you have to move it every couple of teeth. And then all you do is fold it on those score lines. And as I said, I'm folding 2 at a time. And I'm trying to make sure that, look like a couple of these, I didn't do it all the way down, but you can correct that just by your fold as you're going down. And I'm folding 2 at a time, consistent with the shape of the piece. On the LOL hat, I use the glue gun, and I'm going to attempt to make this one using the glue gun because I think that works the best because it dries fast. If you think that on your first tries, if you think that you need a little more time for the glue to dry, you should use the Tombow or one of the ones that one of the glues that gives you some time to possibly make any changes. And now I'm going to start with the first 2 panels. I saved the back panel for last. I'm going to start with my first 2 panels, and all I do is kind of bring the teeth back around or pull them out to the side a little bit. And I've done it before where I didn't pre-fold the teeth down, and I was just going along, and I noticed that it's a lot easier to get them together if you fold them. You can do it without folding them, but it definitely goes better if you do fold them first. I've done it both ways, so I can tell you that for certain. Move that up. And all I'm doing, I put a dot of glue, and then I'm just lining up those points. Oops. Put a little more glue in there. I was a little late getting my piece. And you're just lining up those points and hold it until it sets. Just like that. Let me move those out the way so you can see. See, you're lining up those points, and then you're just going to do that for each of these teeth. And kind of, as you're gluing, hold the hat kind of like you want it to form. Keep going tooth by tooth all the way down until I get to the bottom. And as you see, as you hit each tooth, your hat starts to curve the way it's supposed to curve. Now I have 2 teeth to go. I'm going to just go ahead and put both of those on at the same time. And just press that in place. So I was going extra slow because I was trying to show you as I go, but you can see it can go pretty quickly, and that's how it's looking underneath. I can get all these strings out later, but I just made sure to hit each one. So now I'm down to the last panel, and because it's starting to get into its shape, it starts closing up on you. So you have to just make sure when you're putting your glue on that you don't accidentally get it on your hat. So I'm going to fold that one in, and then I'm going to put my glue here. Put that one up a little high. You got a little time to make corrections, but not a lot. And then I'm going, sorry, I hit the camera with my head. And then you're going to put those 2 points together again, and then continue down with your gluing. And try to make sure you're getting your edges right next to each other, so that the fold of your teeth and this is right next to each other, so you'll get nice clean lines rather than this sticking up over and you seeing spaces and gaps. So make sure that you're minding that as you go along. And actually, now that I've kind of gotten the hang of it, this is pretty easy. At first I thought I won't be making a lot of these, but now I see it really is easy. You just have to take your time to make sure that you're doing it correctly so it'll look good. Now this side is easier than that side to do, because this side, it's still kind of open, but it's really starting to form itself once you get this side on. So it gets a little more difficult to keep from, getting glue. It might be a little easier now that I see you can kind of tuck that out of the way until you get to it. So, and if you get a little glue seepage, I laid it down and kind of cut the glue with the sharp point of my paddle here from the Cricut. Most of it you can just pull off on your own. And then also I noticed it was a little easier when I got in the lower sections to turn it this way. It made it easier to hold and to guide my edges to keep them straight. For the last 3, do them together, but still stick them separately, because there's still a little bit of a curve you're completing. So that, let's get all these strings off of here. I'm going to leave it in so that I can make sure not to get, I'm going to see what's better to do, because I don't want to get glue on that when I'm sliding it up. So I think I'm going to do it this way and kind of hold that side away with my finger until I can get my glue in there. Yeah, that works better, because you don't want to get any of this glue on the outside. And then I just put my glue on there and quickly pull it out and line those points up. And once you get that one going, the rest, hopefully, yeah, the rest should go pretty easily. Turning it this way once again. And the last three you can do all together, but place them and flatten them separately. Now we just have to clean off all the extra glue, and we'll be ready to start on the box base. This part is a breeze. The top half is the most difficulty you'll have. And I made 2 copies of the base with the huge lip. Then I made 2 copies of just the lip of the, or the brim, or whatever you want to call it, on the cap. And all this will help to reinforce it and make it more sturdy. And then this will go inside once I have the base made. The base, what I did with these, just to make sure I was cutting them correctly, I have my Cricut scoring tool. It goes in the Cricut cutter, but you can also use it independently of that. I also use the same one on my scoring board that I use if I don't feel like scoring on the Cricut. So all I'm going to do is go right along this edge, and I'm just going right at the end of the diamonds. You'll see it once, I'll fold it so you can see. And I'm just freehanding that if you're, because it's going to go in a curve. So if you're not very good at freehanding, I'm sure you could set it up on the Cricut as well. But you would just have to break your lines up, because I don't think Cricut does a curve yet on scoring. It might. They update it every few days, so they might have added that feature to it, and I just haven't tried it yet. This part, as you can see, goes pretty fast. And this assembly also goes pretty fast. Oh, also across here, I'll put a score line. And for that one, it's a little longer, so I'll use a ruler. But basically, you're going from the point here to where this folds. And I'm just eyeballing that. So that it can fold this way. So do all of these right quickly. And this is the part that will adhere to the large part of the lid, or of the lip. It's what anchors the box portion of the hat. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. Tell you it has another end that's wider that you could use for this one if you wanted to, in case you want to do it that way. You really don't need that much. I can block this off on a piece of paper. And then you're going to once again point this point to that point. And then just hold it there for a minute. Not a minute, hold it there for a few seconds until it adheres. And it doesn't take too long. Just press it hard for a couple of seconds. And then, oops. Then we're going to do the same thing to the next two. Kind of stuck from the glue, little glue I had put on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on both spots. And you just literally pull it toward the other one so that it bends a little while you're kind of putting it at an angle. Just like that. Hold it in place and let it set up a bit before you move on. So you see it, you want to hold it at an angle while it's drying or while it's adhering a bit. Then you move right on to the next one. Glue on that second one. Bend it in a little at an angle and hold it down. I'm going to put some on that last one. And you just slightly bend it in so that it lines up with the corner of the one that you're adhering it to. And now you've made the box portion. And what I do is I fold this up some more so it'll be flatter. Try to make it as flat as possible. And I'm going to start with these two. I'm going to put a little glue here. This glue is more forgiving. It gives you time to do things. Just make sure you don't have it so close to the edge that it squishes out. And I'm just going to go around each edge with a little of this glue. Don't put too much. Put too much, you're gonna have a sticky, gooey mess on your hands. And then I'm gonna put some on this side as well, just like I did the other side. So I'm just putting some down and then I'm just spreading it with the tip of the glue dispenser. Just going to make it all the way around on this one. And just gently press it in so that it adheres. My hands have some glue on it, that's why I'm using this to make sure that it's making contact all over, but I'm not pressing extremely hard. So now at this point, we're ready to put our base on. So now we have the base here, and all you're going to do is line it up with the yellow lid portion, and you could either go from the outside or you could flip up from the inside. I think I started out going from the outside and then did some from the inside. So I'm just going to put a little glue down this side for starters. Once again, trying to make sure that you're not going to be spilling any over so that your edges aren't sticky. And then I'm just going to line this up with that edge and both edges. And now I'll go inside and press it down. And make sure you're checking to make sure that's going to line up all the way around. But like I said, this is a little forgiving, so you'll have a little wiggle room. So I'm just repositioning to make sure that it's in the right place. And then pressing down on that. So it's okay if some glue seeps out in here, because this piece is going to cover the inside of there anyway. So now I'm going to turn it on its edge a bit so I can flatten this one and get some glue on the bottom of there. And I'm just going to do these last two, and we will be ready to put in the inside base. Alright, so now we're ready to put in our last piece inside, and you're just going to turn it in the direction that it goes, just like that. And you also have some wiggle room in here with this piece. And now I'm just going to lift it up a little bit. And for this portion, you can use a glue gun. Just to keep it in place. Put some on this side. The inside is much more forgiving. Just press that in place. Now we're ready to do our lip or the brim. And you can first adhere these, or you could do them one at a time on your hat base. So line them up, make sure they're lined up perfectly, as perfect as you can get them, and make sure the best copy is on top so that you don't have any spots or any type of blemishes on it. Hold it down, and I'm going to use a little glue gun on this one as well. Smash it down firmly. Just around and do the same thing. Make sure it's nice and flat. And last but not least, I'm just going to add the brim to the hat. And you've just completed your hat. I'll move that one over there. Put the top on there to show you the final look. And you have your hat. And it has the easy opener, so you can easily pull it apart. Thank you for stopping by Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Please remember to subscribe and to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.